I picked that phone up and I answer it myself. I'm like, hello? I hear that woman's voice and she's like, that makes sense. Oh! That my name is Leah. I've been talking to him for over a year now. He came and visited in September and we had smexy time about 5 times. He also saw his ex while he was here.
Ooh.
Pull up on your thought, she gone, I'ma call it girl still. Then she gave me top and I ain't call it girl still. But I'm
We still Hustle Daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Big Play Ray. I'm trying to turn my motherfucking... Oh, the shit ain't even... There you go. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all for all y'all support. That's actually too bright. There we go. She look like she excited to tell this goddamn story. Let's go on and get into it. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at the top of the screen. She looking too fucking excited. Come on.
I got off early today and I feel like telling the story of the worst day of my life. Let's go.
Let's go!
Alright, so I was on a motorcycle trip with my boyfriend and like 3 of his friends, all coming from the same little city, and we went to Houston, okay? And we were staying at like an Airbnb-esque type of place, but it just so happens that like we paid to stay there, but it was like a homeboy that somebody else knew, okay? So on the last day of the trip, the whole trip goes on without a hitch. And mind you, we had no problems in our relationship up until this point, all right? Like, maybe we would have a little tiff over washing the dishes. Also, we live together, just so you guys know. I'm feeling turned. Hold on. Hold on. So, boom, on the morning of the Sunday before we're heading back on our 6-hour road trip back home, I wake up and I'm feeling a little freaky-deaky, a little frisky. I'm a woman of God now, so we don't partake in these kind of activities, but I go to straddle him, you know what I'm saying? We're kissy-kissy, lovey-lovey.
No, don't try to switch this shit up now. No, don't try to switch this shit up now. No.
And we get to do the business. In the middle of the business, before the best part of the business, he gets a phone call from a blocked number, and he's like, oh, I think it's the homeboys on the outside, because he's just like, oh, like they're messing with us. They're trying to like get us to get up, because it's about noon at this time, if not close to it. So they're like, hey, get up, it's time to go. He answers the phone. Tell me why. I hear, hello? Imagine my surprise when there's a woman on the other side of the phone. And I'm like, there are no women out there. I'm the only woman on this trip except for the lady of the house, but she's nursing her husband who just got into a crash last night and had a pole that they had to take out at the ER through his leg because he crashed a motorcycle because he was high on cocaine. Allegedly. Anyway, she's on the phone. She says hello. He goes, hello, who is this? She goes, Jake, are you serious right now? I heard his name. His name's not Jake. But I heard his name and I was like, my heart's beating out of my chest. I wanted to snatch that phone out of his hand. But as quickly as she said his name, he like did a little and then hung up the phone, threw it across the room. And I'm like, he's like, he's basically like, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. And me being me, I'm just like, I can't ignore what just happened, but I can't call back a blocked number. So I'm just going to wait until they call back. But in the meantime, I'm going to ignore what is happening in my surroundings. And I'm just going to continue doing what I was doing a couple seconds ago. So I continue to partake in the activities until, okay? I picked that phone up and I answer it myself. I'm like, hello? I hear that woman's voice and she's like, that makes sense. Oh!
Hey. Damn, what was I about to say? Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, typical gaslighting. The nigga answered the phone. I heard his name. Just throw the motherfucking phone. That nigga's stupid.
Got straight to business. I didn't even have to ask another question aside from who are you? She said, my name is Leah. I've been talking to him for over a year now. He came and visited in September and we had smexy time about 5 times. He also saw his ex while he was here.
Ooh.
And I was under the impression that he was single and that at the very least we were working on a long distance relationship. I can send you proof. I said, here's my number. I'm in shock. We get off the phone expeditiously. Homeboy hops up out the bed and he starts putting his clothes on so that he can confront the situation with a little bit of class. I turn to him and I say, care to tell me what that was about? As I am getting a stream of text messages from this girl with proof, with texts, with videos, with all the things that will crush his spirit. Okay. This man was so shocked about being caught that he had nothing to say for real. He fessed up to it, but the reasoning that he was giving, because my next question was why? Like, why would you do that? Like, I thought that we were happy. I thought, da da da. And he said that the reason why he did it was because I was deployed at the time, by the way. The time that he had gone home, I was deployed. So he said, my friends were in my ear about like, what happens on deployments? Like, she's probably doing this, and this, da da da. I'm loyal. So, secondly, what? Didn't think about just like maybe ending it and then just doing your own thing. Like, you wanted to drag it along. Like, you want to preemptively get your get back? You're stupid. You're dumb. Then came my next question. Did you go see your ex, Alyssa, when you went home? He said, no, I didn't. I swear on Dee Dee. Who's Dee Dee, you might ask? His grandmama. Why are you bringing her into this? She ain't even dead yet. You better watch your mouth. So I asked him again. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I will find out. I will be messaging her and I will find out. And he's just like, no, like, I did not even see her. Like, I don't even talk to her. Da 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 da. Because we had an agreement in our relationship that we wouldn't have friendships with exes. So I'm like, because I loved him so much and because I had so much respect for the relationship and the picture that I had of him in my mind, I decided in that moment, because we had to meet up with friends and we had other things that we needed to do in a 6-hour road trip back home in a vehicle that he was driving, I said, I'm going to forgive you. I said, I'm going to forgive you, and I'm going to set a whole bunch of boundaries, and you're going to owe me a lot of information. And then I asked him, is there anything else I need to know? He said, no, there's nothing else. I said, okay. So that fever dream of a conversation comes to a close. We end up packing up. Everybody's getting ready to go. And the homies are talking about, oh, like, let's go get food before we start the road trip. We could also go to the lot, do a little bit of stunting, whatever, before we head home. And I'm like, the most you're getting out of me is food. And even then, I don't have appetite. So as they're finishing their food, I decide that I don't want to be in their presence anymore. So I just get up at the table, politely excuse myself to the restroom, then go straight out to the car to wait. So after they're done, they come out and I'm saying goodbye to everybody. Ah, bye, kiki, ha, ha, da, da, da. He says goodbye to everyone. He gets in the car. I say, give me that phone. So I'm going through that phone and I'm combing through and I'm just looking for something, anything, any other person that I need to contact or whatever. But at this point, he's had his phone for like 1 or 2 hours. So any residual evidence, he probably just, it disappeared. And the only other memorable part of this drive where I was just like, am I dealing with a psychopath? Was when he turned to me and he asked me, are we going to be able to move on from this? Because if you're just going to be like crazy and overthinking and like sad all the time, then is it even worth it to try? So we finally make it back from the road trip. I've already messaged the ex Alyssa on Instagram. So it's sitting in her little request thing, just waiting for her to open it. So I'm just kind of just sitting anxiously waiting for a response. But I didn't get it that night. And I actually remember distinctively allowing him to comfort me, which is crazy because you did this to me. Thank goodness I was exhausted that night and I was actually able to get a little bit of sleep because I had work the next day. Yeah. But immediately when the MFLAC office opened, I gave them a little. And if you don't know what MFLAC is, it's basically like an on-call military doctor that's supposed to help you with like crisis in the family and stuff like that, and deals with situations like this. So I give that lady a call expeditiously. And I'm like, hey, I need your help. And she's like, oh, well, I have openings later on in the week. Like, could you tell me, what the premise of the conversation is going to be about, blah, blah, blah. And I said, my boyfriend cheated on me and I don't know what to do. I start crying on the phone to this lady. And she's like, oh, well, honey, I actually have an opening at 2 p.m. today. Like, you can come. And I said, okay, I'll see you at 2. Boom. Get off the phone. I've been to that lady. I'm crying in that office for like an hour and a half. I called his grandmother. I'm calling everybody. That's all I could think about. It's just like permeating my mind. And then it was a night shift that I was working. Then at around 11:30 p.m., I got off at midnight.
Finally hit back.
11:30 p.m., I get a text message.
Oh, shit.
From Alyssa.
Oh.
Alyssa is a girl's girl, just like Leah. So she gave me everything that I needed to know and more. And here are the bullet points of that conversation that I had with Alyssa while I was trying not to crash out at my job. And I feel really bad for my coworker at this time because I'm just sitting there like tears running down my face. Like, I cannot hide it at this point. Nobody else is coming in. Please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. So she said that they talked or texted just about every day after they broke up. Then she told me a little extra tidbit that they officially broke up in December of 2022. I met him in May of 2022, of which both of us were single. So we were going steady, dating but not dating, not boyfriend, girlfriend yet, for 7 months before he asked me to be his girl officially on the 7th of January, 2023. So I was the other woman. And before she even went on in the conversation, she was like, how did you find out? Like, what happened? And I said, actually, like, I told her all the whole story up until this point about Leah. And she said, that Leah. So apparently Leah, just like everybody else in the town and everybody else in their lives since high school, knew that Alyssa and Jack were together. But the thing is, Leah was under the impression that she was just having like a normal platonic relationship with Jack until Jack started kind of venting to her about his relationship problems. And then it slowly started building into him flirting with her and then like becoming a little bit something more. Before I could even proceed with my tea, I needed to know what the freak was going on. So I asked her, like, is this a pattern, essentially? And she said that he cheated on her for the entire 7 years that they were together, to a point where she lost count of all of the women that either messaged her as women or she caught like either in the act or the messages or, you know, different things like that, to a point where she was like crazy in the head, but she loved him so much and they had such like a solid foundation or whatever that she decided like she tried to stay. And they had been engaged like 3 times and didn't marry, which she's like, thank God. She actually picked up her whole life, moved to Texas with him in the military, got a whole job out here. Like, she had never moved before that. She was a Michigan grown, Flint, Michigan grown homegirl whole time. So she's miserable in Texas. He's miserable in Texas because he's one of those like, I'm not making enough money. I'm just, the military sucks. I mean, so that, coupled with the cheating and all the other stuff that was going on, one day she said, I'm going to go visit home. Like, I'm just going to go visit home. And he's just giving very nonchalant. Why? Because he's talking to me and he's at my house constantly. And he worked night shift at the time. So when she would go to work, I worked night shift too. When she would go to work, he would be coming off of work and going to sleep. But he would, and he was my across the way neighbor. Like, I lived in this apartment complex right here. He lived in this apartment complex. There was just a road. All he had to do was walk. Literally get home. He would shower or change his clothes, come straight over and sleep with me. And then when he would wake up and he would go about his day, do his errands and whatnot, he would be going home to her. And we always met at my house. And mind you, I like my house. Like, I tend to not really like to go over to men's houses, just because like the ambiance is just not it. And the smell, it just kind of smells like moldy socks. So I was just okay with meeting at my spot. But I had...
Damn. Y'all be going over niggas' houses who smell like moldy socks? Shit. Damn, ladies. Okay, that's what y'all be doing? My house smell good.
Never seen the inside of his place, and eventually that became a red flag for me. Right, whatever. So she says, I'm going to go visit home. She breaks up with him over text message. She's like, I'm not coming back. And he's just like, okay. And she just told me, like, she was so flabbergasted that this happened because what do you mean I invest 7 years of my life into you and you just don't give a flip when I leave? Huh? So she was like, there has to be another one. Like, there has to be another. But she didn't do any digging because at that point she was afuera, done. But like I said, they were still texting, or at least he was still trying to reach out to her, trying to see, because he's just manipulative and stupid. He was just trying to see like where he was at, if they could like cultivate a friendship, because he didn't want to waste all of that friendship, all of the wonderful experiences and memories and Then we proceeded with our relationship. She doesn't find out that he is in a relationship until I post on my Instagram story our 1 year anniversary bubble montage video thing that he reposts. They weren't following each other, and he had blocked her from viewing the story, but her sister saw it and sent it to her and was like, did you know about this? Like, didn't you guys just link up? And did, because when he went home in September, when he was spending all that time with Leah, he was texting her incessantly every single day, begging. She sent me the screenshots, bro. Begging to hang out, begging to spend time with her, begging to have a conversation, like just, find some closure. He was saying everything. He was popping up at her job because her job was like at this bar spot and they have like an outdoor volleyball court. So he was popping up at the volleyball court as a guise, and then he would like try to talk to her. So they end up linking once, and then they had a sleepover, and then he took her to dinner on a separate occasion. When I tell you, my heart just, because he swore on Didi, right? So that means Didi about 10 feet under the grave, 15 feet under at this point, because what you mean? Why are you lying so hard? Now, all this information is gut wrenching for me, from her story to like our overlapping involvements and things like that. It's just totally heartbreaking because this is not the person that I knew at all. Like, I'm flabbergasted that all of this is coming out. And she's just like, you never went through his phone, like da-da-da. And I just never been a go through the phone, never been the insecure girly. Like, I just never been that girl. Now though, I don't care how much I trust you, baby. Give me that password. Yeah. And I'm going through it with you sitting next to me so you can explain to me. So I don't got to keep myself up in the middle of the night wondering how I'm going to bring this conversation. No. Now, who's that?
I feel you. I feel that. I feel that. I can feel that. I feel that. I'm with her on that shit. I'm the same way. Fuck that shit. That girl said she wants you to be right there, though. Hell no.
For real. So the part that really tore me up though was that she sent me screenshots of a bunch of their conversations, and there were 2 screenshots in particular. This man. So I'm going to read this screenshot that actually made me crash out. And the timeline behind the screenshot is even more diabolical because we were actually in Puerto Rico at the time, and I was introducing him to my family. Like, the first point of contact, family. He was meeting uncle, he was meeting abuela, mi corazón, and mi abuelo, okay? And we had, like, Thanksgiving together and everything like that. She says, no, I just see that you're very different and moving on. I don't want to get in the way of your happiness. I'm happy and not saying anything bad, just realizing that life's crazy, and I never thought that we'd be here like this. But I'm happy, and you're happy, and that's all that matters. He says, I'm not that happy. I live with the regret of not being with the person that I want to be with, and I'm settling. I'm probably going to break this off because it's not what I truly want, and it just doesn't feel right. Then he says, but you're happy, and that makes me happy. I'll just hold my L and keep it pushing. I'm happy for you, though. Trust me, you deserve it. Take a shot every time they say happy, by the way. She said, why aren't you happy? He said, it was fun at first, but now I find myself more annoyed and unhappy. It's not you, truly that simple. I used to look forward to coming home to you. I think about that at work a lot. I'm going to go home and you aren't going to be there. No bueno. Don't think we're compatible like I thought. It's so bleh. She said, well, you didn't want to be together after I told you I would move back. You didn't care. You made it seem like I created such a hassle about it when I've been gone for a whole year now. It hurts to think that all these years are now just memories because I truly do care about you. That mess hits so deep that even as I'm reading it, like I'm tearing up, just reading and knowing the emotions that were going through my head when I first read that. So after that, we get on the phone with each other. We talk, we exchange more information, and I get off of work. And I just sit in the car and I'm crying, listening to Adele. And then I'm like, he's probably asleep in my bed. Like, just my bed, by the way, my bed. And he doesn't deserve to live anymore. So I gather myself, I pull myself together. I'm still crying at this moment. And I keep rereading those texts over and over and over again. I'm just like, wow. Ooh, you got me. Ooh, you got me, bro. Take notes. So instead of going to the bedroom, I go to my office. Why? Because there's something in my office that I need for what's about to happen. What is that?
Not the gun. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I grab my creative piece and I walk into the room very stealthily. I do not turn on a single light, and I just stand over his body for about 10 minutes, and I'm just holding it. And my life is flashing before my eyes. And I'm like, what would actually realistically happen to me if I were to go through with what it is that I'm contemplating doing? And it takes divine intervention. So allegedly, I'm standing over this man. I got my finger on the trigger and I start squeezing. And then I felt this weird sensation, like crazy divine intervention. I'm not playing with you. This presence just whooshes into me and knocks me back a couple of steps. And I kind of just like blink myself out of this stupor. I look at the blicky, I remove my finger off of it, and I expeditiously exit the room. And I'm just like, what just happened? So I very carefully place the blicky on the banister, and then I return back into the room. But this time I'm making all the noise because I'm trying to wake him up. So I turn the lights on, I slam the door open and all that other stuff. And he's just like, blinking himself out of a stupor. And then I just sit there and I just look at him. And can you believe this man had the audacity to be confused as to why he was being woken up? He was like, don't you know I got work in a couple of hours? What time is it? What's going on? I don't even give this man a second to collect his thoughts. Immediately, I pull out my phone and I read the text messages that have my heart broken. At this point, I'm ready to get crunk because there's nothing that you can say that's going to make this situation any better for you at all, right? He says, if I knew that you were going to read that, I never would have sent it. Obviously, duh. Then he said the worst thing that he possibly could have said in the situation. He said, I didn't mean a word of it. I didn't mean anything that I said to her at all. I just said it because I saw that she was moving on and I saw that she was happy and I wanted to see what she was going to say because I wanted to manipulate her feelings. Go! Let the record show. This is exactly what my brain said. Who invited this nigga? But unfortunately, that's not the end of the story. So that conversation persists for quite a while. The end result is me kicking him out of the room and sitting there in my thoughts like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And obviously sitting here now, I'm just like, free yourself! But I was stupid. Instead, I give myself a time limit of when I owe myself the decision of whether or not I was actually going to stay in the relationship or whether I was going to leave. And the reason why I did this is because, bro, I was going to marry this man. Like, at the end of the month of April, we were going to Arizona for my sister's college graduation, and he was coming with to meet my father, meet my mother, meet my brothers and sisters, everybody closest to me. And then the following month for my birthday, we were going to go to California to meet his grandparents. Not Dee Dee, but his granddaddy, who was married to Dee Dee, but ended up cheating on Dee Dee and she left him. Those following days after that were absolutely ridiculous because there was a different part of me that came out that I've never seen before. Here were the boundaries that I set for him. 1, I'm not okay with you having female friends. Every single one of your female friends must go, period. 2, I will have access to every single social media account that you own, and it will be linked to my phone so that I can go through it at any moment of the day. 3, when you are somewhere, when you say that you are somewhere, you will take a picture of evidence of who you are with and where you are at. Mind you, this one is subjective because hear me, you could be sitting right next to a girl and then take a picture with your homeboy like this, and I would never know. But it was just like a piece of...
Yo, this relationship is over. She got to do all of that shit right there. This relationship over. We about to see how it ends though, but this relationship over. But she stayed though. But I'm just saying, like, the dynamic is just fucked up now.
Peace of mind type thing, you know? You're going to therapy. I said, you're going to have to work on you before I'm okay with working on us. And you're going to have to deal with the fact that I'm not going to be fully present in this relationship at all because you've proven yourself to be an absolutely dog water human being. Hello? Those were the gist of the boundaries. And I realized, like, that's a lot to do. That's a lot to ask of a person. But it's like, if you want this, these are the rules. These are the steps. These are the stipulations. So, baby, take it or leave it. And I need to know right now. And he took it. So he didn't know about my ultimate timeline of when this decision was going to be made for me. But I did let him know that if I found anything else, that it was over with. Done. Didn't matter if it was big or small. I was going to be done. So I asked him one more time, is there anything else that I need to know? He says no because he's a pathological liar. So let's fast forward to where I find that last little thing. Now, a couple days before this incident happened, we were outside playing basketball at like this random rec center in the city. And I ruptured my Achilles. So I'm on these crutches, tooted up like a baddie, and we pull up to this pool party that we had got invited to by his friends, my friends, mutuals, whatever. And let the record show, I had told every single safe external source that I could about what had happened, but I did not tell my closest friends, closest friends, especially the ones that lived in the city, because I did not want any problems while still sorting things out. But in the relationship itself, things had gotten pretty bad because even though I had given him these boundaries and he had given me access to the stuff, he also wasn't doing very much to try to reconcile the relationship. And honestly, alcohol became a coping mechanism for him and for me. So we got folded up like some paper planes, baby. So we return home several hours later in good spirits and he passes out on the couch. But right before he passes out on the couch, he says, hey, baby, I can't find my phone. Do you know where it's at? And I'm like, no, because I genuinely didn't. But of course, I found it. So it was inside of the bag that I had put everything in because obviously, like I said, I ruptured my Achilles. So I can't just carry things around in both hands. It has to be inside of a bag so that I could carry myself and like crawl up the stairs. It was a whole ordeal. So I put the bag on, I carry myself upstairs. I go into the room and I'm just checking in the bag just to find some chapstick or something. And then I spot his cellular device. Why would you do that? Now, my intuition is top tier. I knew when I touched that phone that when I opened it, I was going to find something that I hadn't found any of the other times. And it was going to be in a place that I wasn't really familiar with. So first thing I did, I went to Google and I typed in secret photo app. And I don't remember the name of the app that popped up. All I know is that one spoke to me. So I opened the app store, I typed in that first name, and surely enough, it had one of those little arrow things with the little circular, like, you want to download this? because it's been downloaded before. So I Alice in Wonder myself right into that app and tell me why I open it and it's automatically asking me for a pin. But I'm already in the phone. So I reset the pin, send it to the email, get the little text message. It's asking me for like 4 different ways to verify and verify and verify. So I'm like, oh, this legit. Like, this is demonic. So tell me why I get in there and there's nothing but corn all over. And upon further inspection, it's stuff of me, it's stuff of Alyssa, it's stuff of Leah, it's stuff of women that I've never seen before. And that's when I
Oh shit, he got him his own little collection. Okay, he got him in a hidden folder. He got his own little collection of y'all. Alright.
knew I was dealing with somebody that has absolutely no self-control, especially because those random women weren't actually random to him. They're not like, oh, you went on Twitter and you collected it off of this, or you went off of this corn site and you got it off of this. No, you were interacting with them and
right.
You made them feel safe enough with you to send you those things.
For sure.
Wow. This app also didn't have dates on the entries, but it was in chronological order. So the random corny people were from before my time. So I was like, you know what? You have a problem, but that has nothing to do with me. And then I went to, when the Alyssa and the Leah stuff was happening, and I found one singular photo of this random other girl laid up on his chest, and he had got a tattoo while I was deployed, so I knew that this was a recent photo. And they were he's shirtless, he's just laying there, and she's just taking a nap on his chest. And I was like, there's my 13th reason. From there, I send some of the PG incriminating evidence to myself, because I knew that when I left his phone exactly the way that he is, and he opened it and saw what I saw, that he was going to try to clean it up by the time that I go to confront him about it. He gets up the next day, he gets ready, and he goes to work like nothing happened. Obviously, he opens his phone and he sees everything, whatever. And I can't even explain what was going through his head. Obviously, I don't know. But I did text him. I'm like, hey, we need to talk, and I don't want to do this at home. So he comes in, he picks me up after work, and he gets all changed and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm still on crutches. I'm going to be on crutches for months at this point. We go to this coffee shop that I love because of ambiance. And the first thing that I asked him is, did you ever love me? I just want to know. And of course, the Oscar goes to Beyonce, because everything that this man was saying was rolling off of me like water off a plastic bag. I wasn't buying anything. So boom, I break up with him, obviously. But we did not leave each other alone.
I know y'all didn't. That's all I can say, man. I ain't really got too much to say about this story. Shit. You knew the man was a liar. You wanted to decide if you wanted to stick around. Shit, you got more and more evidence. I don't fucking know, man. But, hey, if you like it, baby, I love it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'm out of here. Peace.